Hello, beautiful faces. Thanks for stopping by, whether you are new or returning. Now, I have been wanting to make this video for a while, but especially more so since I have not seen a ton of these going around and thought that I am definitely going to be making my own. So this is going to be like explaining Onlyfriends, who has been with who was friends with who. Like, we're just going to explain the clusterfuck that is Onlyfriends. Onlyfriends is one of my all-time favorite BLs. Now, I will be making one of these for season 2 as well, but season 2 follows an entirely different cast of characters. So, yes, I will make one of these for season 2, but I am going to wait until season 2 ends for obvious reasons. So, this is going to be the season 1 version with the season 1 cast. If you watched it but you were weirdly still confused, then this video is for you. We're going to go over, like I said, who's been with who was friends with who, what do they do and things like that, like how everyone connects. That is what this video is going to be. So if you have any interest in that, then let's just jump right into it. Spoiler warning for the entire plot of Onlyfriends. So, yep, spoiler warnings. First, I'm going to start by introducing you to all of the characters. As you can see here, we've got 6 main characters and then we have 5 side characters. So, first of all, we've got Sand. Sand is dating Ray. He lives with Nick. He sings at Yo's pub. He sells illegal plum wine. And he's Boeing's ex. Then we have Ray. Ray is dating Sand. He's an alcoholic. He's a rich boy. And he is a part of the main friend group working on a project together. Then we have Mew. Mew is dating Top. He's part of the main friend group working on a project together. He's the virgin of the friend group and he enjoys reading. Then we have Top. Top is dating Mew. He really wants to be Mew's first. He's another rich boy and he's also another ex of Boeing's. So these are the first 4 characters that I'm introducing to you. Sand and Ray are one of the pairings. Mew and Top are another one of the pairings. Like, if you want to talk main pairings, there are 3 main pairings: Sand and Ray, Mew and Top, and then Boston and Nick. And I'll get to Boston and Nick in a second. So I'll also explain how each couple comes to be as well. So Ray is an alcoholic, but in the beginning of the show, he doesn't really realize it yet. And he enlists Sand to be his drinking buddy. And then they kind of get together, like friends with benefits. But like, yeah, I think they do eventually start dating and things like that. Mew and Top are your most traditional, like, they start dating straight away sort of thing. But Top finds out that Mew is a virgin and he kind of has this like weird obsession. He really wants to be Mew's first. Like, he really, really wants to be Mew's first. Probably more than anything he wants in life at the moment. I think it might be one of those he wants what he can't have sort of vibes. But yeah, he just really wants to be Mew's first. But Mew and Top are like the traditional couple because Mew is like, I want to take things slow. He's a virgin for a reason because he wants to save it for the right person. He's quite a traditional character. Now, I do also want to quickly mention Mew and Ray together because Ray has an unrequited love on Mew. So Ray has loved Mew for the longest time. Unfortunately, Mew does not feel the same, but Ray has just always loved Mew. Now, throughout the show, Ray and Mew do end up having a little fling thing, but it doesn't last for very long. Rightio, the next 4 characters. So we've got Nam Chuan and April. They are a GL pairing within this show. Now, Nam Chuan and April are more side characters because all I've written for April is that she is dating Nam Chuan. Now, for Namjuan, she's dating April and she is a part of the main friend group working on a project together. The other two main six, we've got both Boston and Nick. So Boston is dating Nick. Now, I've put dating in quotation marks, and I'll explain while I've done that in a minute. He loves casual sex, and he's a part of the main friend group working on a project together. Nick is dating Boston in quotation marks. He lives with Sand. He works at a phone tech shop. Now, I put Boston and Nick with like quotation marks. I think it's more of a friends with benefits relationship. Nick definitely wants it to be a real relationship, but Boston, I maybe should have also claimed, has commitment issues, but you can tell because I've said he loves casual sex. He's not the biggest fan of settling down or anything like that. He has no intentions of doing so. He, for a hot minute, thinks that maybe he could do so with Nick, but old habits are hard to break. And yeah, so Boston and Nick are probably, I would say, more of a situationship, let's be real. The last three of the side characters, and then I will actually just briefly mention three even sider characters. So we've got Boeing, who has two different exes. He used to date Top, and he also used to date Sand. And I've also just written, I'm here to fuck shit up, because if anyone has seen this show, then you know exactly what I mean by that. Then we have Atom, who is Namjoon's younger brother, and he gets with Boston once. Then we have Dan, who gets with Nick. Now, we've also got Yo and Plug. They are boyfriends and girlfriends because I think that Yo is a transgender character. Yo owns the pub that is a frequent location throughout the show. And then we also have Gap, who is someone that Boston gets with once. Now for the part of the video I think that you were all here for. Who has kissed who has been with who, into, what level of capacity have they been together, and things like that. So, Sand has kissed Ray, Boeing, Nick, and Top. Ray has kissed Sand, Mew, and Boeing. Top has kissed Mew, Boston, and Sand. Mew has kissed Top, Ray, and Boeing. Nick has kissed Boston, Dan, Sand, and Atom. Boston has kissed Nick, Boeing, Top, Atom, and Gap. Boeing has kissed Mew, Sand, Boston, and Ray, and Atom has kissed Boston and Nick. Also, just reminding you all that Top and Boeing are exes, but they don't kiss in the show, which is why I didn't say that Top has kissed Boeing and Boeing has kissed Top, because that doesn't happen even though they are exes. Also, it is possible that Boston has possibly kissed someone from the season 2 cast, and when I do the season 2 version of this, I will let you know if that actually happened or not. Boston is a character from season 1 that they brought back for season 2. I've only seen the first episode of season 2 because that is the only episode out right now. Like, season 2 is fresh and you get one episode per week, so I can't watch any others even if I wanted to. Sand and Ray have a really cute cameo though, which is like so adorable in the first episode, but they're not necessarily characters that I think are going to be brought back. But Boston, he's actually in the title credits, so they've actually brought Boston back for season 2. So he can and possibly will kiss someone from the season 2 cast. But for this video, I've only mentioned characters he has kissed from the season 1 cast. Now, for who has kissed people to like what degree. So you've got Sand and Ray, who are one of the main couples. So they kiss and they do more than kiss. Same with Top and Mew. They kiss and they do more than kiss. Nick and Boston have kissed and they do more than kiss. So, First, let me explain the three pairings in the tiniest bit more depth, and then we'll get to the other weirder pairings, right? So first, Ray and Sand, they're dating slash in a situationship. I think that they are like dating, but then maybe someone would disagree with me and claim that it's just a situationship. But while that is going on, Ray is still in love with Mew. So, yeah, he's with Sand, but he would happily leave him for Mew if Mew ever said that he loved Ray back, because Ray is just in love with Mew. But yeah, we got Ray and Sand. They're like together, like I said earlier. Ray enlists Sand as a drinking buddy, and it just goes from there. Next is Top and Mew. Now, they are the only couple on the show, besides the GL couple, that are like officially properly dating. No if, ands, or but about it. No, like, oh, they're just fucking or it's a situation or anything like that. No, they are properly dating and together. However, Mew is a virgin compared to Top, who is very experienced. And Top kind of had this weird obsession of like he really wants to be Mew's first. For some reason, like all he wants in life at the moment is to be Mew's first. Lastly, we have Nick and Boston. So they start out as like friends with benefits. I think actually originally it was like a one night stand, but then they liked it and decided that they would fuck again. So friends with benefits. And then it kind of leads to a situationship. It leads to a little bit like you want to talk situationships. Nick and Boston are in one. Nick wants to be like official, so he wants to have a Top and Mew. He wants to be real and legit. But Boston doesn't. Boston's a bit like, oh, why do we have to put labels on things? Like, I just like casual sex. Like, why can't you just be cool with that? Nick is a little like, I can fix him mentality, sort of. And look, there is a part of the show where Nick tries, but that doesn't really last very long. Like, it just doesn't really last very long. And I'll get to that a little bit later in this video. But yeah, so like, Nick wants to be legit, Boston does not. So let's go on side quests now. So, like I mentioned with the whole Nick and Boston thing, like how Nick really wants it to be legit, Boston does not. There is so much drama that goes on, and like, let's be real, I will explain it all to you. But because of the drama, so basically, Nick takes as much as he can take, then he leaves Boston and gets with Dan for a hot minute. It doesn't last for too long. So I think Nick always has wanted to get into animation and he gets this job and Dan is his boss and Dan has a thing for Nick. So they get together for a hot minute. Nick thinks that maybe he does like Dan. Turns out no, he actually doesn't like Dan. So they end things, like it doesn't last for very long at all. But that is a thing that happens. Also, Nick and Sand kiss one time. Just once, they're just hanging out one time and they're like, oh, maybe we should see if there's any sparks between us. So they kiss. Spoiler alert, no sparks between them, and they just end up laughing about it and, like a laughable memory for them sort of vibes. It's actually a really sweet moment in the show, surprisingly. Sand and Top kiss one time. I think they're all at a party and they are dared to do so by Mew. So, yeah, for pairings that you never expected, Sand and Top, but they only kiss once. It does get a little crazy and they have to be broken up by others. But yeah, Sand and Top, everyone. All right, time to get into some drama. So, before Top got with Mew, and this is before the show, like Top and Boston used to be fuck buddies. I think they were friends with benefits in the past, or like if one ever wanted the other was always down sort of vibes. And unfortunately, it happens again. So Top does cheat on Mew with Boston. But Boston's a little bit of a manipulator. Like, I'm not saying that Top is innocent, but Boston isn't innocent either because Boston knew exactly what he was doing. He gets with Top one night and is all, Mew's a virgin. He wants to take things really slow. He doesn't want to he's not ready to have sex with you yet. And, you never know when he'll be ready. I'm here, I'm willing, I'm ready, let's go. Like, I'm offering. And yeah, Top takes the offer. He shouldn't take the offer, but he takes the offer. And so him and Boston fuck, cheating on Mew, and yeah. Now I'm going to go back and we need to talk about Ray and Mew. So like I said, Ray is with Sand, but he's in love with Mew. He has just always been in love with Mew. Fortunately, Mew doesn't feel the same. Like there's a scene where like Ray tries to make a move and Mew's like, ew, no, like we're just friends. And that's just made me really uncomfortable. And yeah. So, anyways, after the whole Top and Boston situation, Mew breaks up with Top, and as he should, because he was just cheated on. But he also wants to like get back at Top. So he starts dating Ray. So Ray and Mew do have like a little fling. It doesn't last for too long. And it honestly makes Ray spiral because Ray is under the impression that Mew finally loves him back. But that is not the case. I think Mew might be using Ray a little bit, which is sad to think about. But it just makes Ray spiral when it ends, which I feel sorry for Ray. But a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying that Ray's a saint. No one's a saint in this show, but like you do feel a little sorry for Ray. And even though I love Mew, like, because I do love Mew, but then, like, I love Ray as well. Mew and Ray are two of my favourites in the show. So, but yeah, after the whole cheating thing, Ray and Mew, they have a little, like, they kiss a bit. You know, they're, like, together. They're telling people they're together, but it doesn't last for very long. Okay, now we need to bring Atom into the fold. Remember Atom? He is Namchuan's younger brother. So, Boston fucks Atom once. They have a one-night stand. Adam catches feelings, but Boston does not, because we all know that Boston probably would not catch feelings for anyone. Adam gets quite hurt by the fact that Boston doesn't catch feelings, so he lies to everyone and says that he was RAPE'd by him. That is not the case. Adam fucked him willingly, but that's not what he's telling everyone else. And it creates drama because it makes everybody really hate Boston because they think that he is an RAPER, like they think that he's one of those terrible people, but he's not. So I also want to bring Nick back into this because Adam and Nick kiss once, and it's a part of a plan that I think both Boston and Nick have come up with to get Atom to reveal the truth, to reveal that he was never RAPE'd. He fucked Boston willingly. Rightio, now time to bring Boeing into the fold. Mr. I am here to fuck shit up. So, in the past, he has kissed both Top and Sand. Because Sand and Top are two of his exes. In the past, he dated both of these guys, clearly at different times, and has kissed them. Top and Boeing never actually have an on-screen kiss in the show. It's kind of just noted that in the past they were together. Boeing and Sand do have an on-screen kiss, and I will get to that in a minute. So, Boeing has kissed both Ray and Sand in an attempt to break them up. There's not really any good reason. I just think that he's a terrible person. I just think, maybe he's bored or something. I don't know. Maybe he really genuinely wants to get back with Sand. But after it not working with Ray and Sand, he immediately tries it with Top and Mew. So I don't necessarily think my theory of him genuinely wanting to get back with Sand is real. I just think he's bored. I just think that he is a pot stirrer and he enjoys being a pot stirrer. But yeah, so Sand and Boeing, they do have an on-screen kiss, same with Boeing and Ray, because like I said, Boeing is trying to break up Ray and Sand. It doesn't work though, and Boeing immediately then decides that he's going to try and break up Top and Mew instead. So he doesn't have any on-screen kisses with Top, but he has one with Mew in an attempt to break them up again. So you're probably wondering again because they broke up earlier with the whole Boston and Top situation. So Mew and Top do end up working things out. Because Top feels really bad about it. Like, I promise I'll never do it again, sort of. And so, like, Mew and Top do eventually get back together. But then Boeing, like, I'm here to fuck shit up. And so he wants to try and break Mew and Top up because he's bored. He couldn't get back with Sand, but maybe he'll try getting back with Top. Or maybe he'll even try to get with Mew, considering his on-screen kiss is with Mew. But that doesn't really work. So basically, Ray and Sand, they didn't know what was going on. But they see that he's trying to do the same thing with Mew and Top. So they decide to be good friends and warn Mew and Top and just say, hey, this is what Boeing is trying to do because he just tried to do it to us. Just thought that you should know he's trying to break you guys up because that's what he just tried to do to us. So him trying to break up Mew and Top lasts for an even less amount of time because they know what's going on now and they're not going to take any of Boeing shit. Lastly is Boeing and Boston. And before I can get to Boeing and Boston, let me just get back to Boston and Nick for a quick second. So Nick and Boston are trying to be together. So Boston decides that he will try to settle down for Nick. But it doesn't last for very long because they go out clubbing one night and Boston meets Boeing and they have a little makeout sesh. And that is what ultimately ends Boston and Nick completely because he walks in on Boeing and Boston. Does he walk in on them or does he just find out about it? I don't, he maybe walked in on them or it might have just been he somehow found out about it. So, because like I did say, Boston and Nick, they like got together like situationship and then they broke up. And Boston gets with Dan, but then like Nick and Dan don't last for very long. So Nick and Boston do like they eventually get back together and then they have the Boston and Boeing situation. And then yeah, that's what ultimately ends Boston and Nick because at the end of the show, Boston moves to New York. I think he's going to study there or whatever. So that's what ends ultimately for Boston and for Nick. Boston does also fuck this guy called Gap. He is a very, very, very minor side character who doesn't even really add drama to the show, but I did add it on the list of like people that Boston has been with because he is technically someone that Boston has been with. Also, Boston has probably kissed/fucked someone from the season 2 cast, considering he is a character that they are bringing back for season 2. Speaking of season 2, I watched that first episode and I absolutely loved it. Ray and Sand have a cute little cameo in the beginning because Ray is singing with Raffi, and that's like the cutest thing ever. But Sand and Ray, they're not like back, whereas Boston's in the title credits, so they're actually planning to bring Boston back. And I think he's like best friends with either Rome or Tua or Jack. He's friends with one of the people from season 2. And so there's a possibility that he's kissed people from season 2. However, you're not getting the season 2 version from me until season 2 has ended. And so in this video, I'm only including people that Boston has kissed from the season 1 cast. Rightio, that is it. That's it for the video. That is who's been with who. Explaining the plot kind of, but more in a way of just through like who's been with who. And so, yep, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you love a good BL just as me. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about all of this, your thoughts about Onlyfriends. I would love to chat. And yep, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.